Alright, so today I want to talk to you guys about why you need to be taking an interest in personal finance and why it's so relevant right now. Of course, it's because the economy is in shambles, people can't work, people can't travel, and businesses are falling apart. You've got to be prepared for an emergency like this, and the coronavirus isn't going to wait for you. So, America just isn't prepared for this. According to a 2017 Go Banking Rate survey, 57% of people have less than $1,000 in their savings accounts, and 39% have none at all. So now millions are applying for unemployment, the government's sending out checks to try to stabilize people, but the people who know how to manage their money and have done it correctly are stable and doing fine. So today I want to explain to you how you can do that by correctly budgeting, investing in the best options, and staying out of debt, and why you must stay out of debt and the best strategy to get out of it. So I've always been passionate about this stuff, and I've been saving money ever since I was 10. So let's talk about saving money and how you do it. Firstly, you want to make a budget. A budget is essential to having control of your money and your future. The Federal Trade Commission says that a budget helps you make sure you will have enough money every month, and without one, you might not survive the month, and neither will your family. So the first step to creating a budget is evaluating your expenses, especially your miscellaneous costs. You want to make sure that you're not wasting money on things that don't really matter, like extra clothes or extra food or extra coffee. Okay, you have to take out those that don't matter and at least put them at a minimum so that you have money to save. But why is saving so important? Well, saving is something that actually promotes your well-being, according to Polish psychologists, and it actually makes you happier. It makes you a happier person because you have less stress and less worry about the future. But how do you save? The best way is what Dave Ramsey suggests, and it's the zero-based budget. So before the month starts, you assign every dollar and a job to do, and that way when you get to the end of the month and you have extra money, you're not tempted to just go spend it, but instead it'll go into your savings account. And so to save more, it might feel like you have to work more, but that's not true. Investing is where your money can work for you. That way you don't have to actually work more. So it's very important to a person's financial well-being to be able to invest. But there's a simple miracle to it, and it's called compounding interest. And I've shared this with you before. Invest $100 per month at a 10% compounding interest rate, and you have $600,000 in 40 years. Now, it's very important when doing this to have a long-term perspective and realize that you're not going to touch this money for a while, but it will provide for you in the future. So it's very important that you do it. So investing, it can be very rewarding, like I've said, but it's important that you analyze risk and return. That's why mutual funds, as recommended by Dave Ramsey, are the best option to invest in. It takes the smallest businesses that are just starting out and the larger businesses that have shown promise and always done well, and invest in them and does all the research for you. So all you're doing is putting in money when you need to. That way, when you come to age 60, you've been investing for 40 years, and you have a really nice retirement for yourself, and you don't have to work yourself into the grave, as many Americans are doing right now. So although investment is great for the long run, and budgeting is great for the short term, what about this battle of debt that we're facing for our entire lives, right? I won't stand up here and act like it's an easy one to fight, but when you have debt around your ankle, you're sinking. So the best way to avoid debt is budgeting. Like I've said before, if you're evaluating those miscellaneous costs and realizing you don't need to be spending that money, you have more money to avoid debt, and you're not just getting into buying stuff you don't need to. Also, Dave Ramsey recommends not using cards. Now, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but when you swipe a card, you get a reward and you feel good about it. But you shouldn't really feel good about wasting money. So using cash lets you have an emotional connection, and you don't want to give it away. So now on to getting out of debt. The best strategy that you should be using is the debt snowball method. So you want to take your smallest bill that you have and make a bigger payment on it and make minimum payments on the rest. So that way, when you easily knock out the first one, that money snowballs in, and you're not gonna just stop paying that money. You're gonna snowball it into the next one until you're done. So that way you get out of debt in a few years, and then you have more money to go towards saving or towards investing and providing for your retirement. So it all works together, starting from making a budget. If you budget correctly, you will have money to save, you will have money to invest, and you will have money to fight debt. So I've stressed the essential aspects of personal finance and showed you how you should be managing your money and why it's so relevant to you right now. So with knowledge and wherewithal that you have now, when the next pandemic strikes, because we all know it will, you will not only not have to file for unemployment, but you'll be able to buy all the toilet paper in Tyler and have no damage to your bank account. Thank you.